Hello. I want to talk about a little bit about Cernit polymer clay. It's this one. It's specifically meant for making dolls, and it's supposed to have this personal look after baking. And why I want to talk about this is because I did get this clay because I was taking a PhD sculpting class, and this clay was what was available for me in my area, and I was really struggling with it. I did finish the doll, but it was like giving the clay any shape was so difficult. It was just floating off. It didn't take up a shape, and it just was floating off the work. And it's for the very first molding and sculpting project, I'm happy with it. And it was like 2 years ago, and I didn't really do anything with this clay after 2 years because I was just struggling so much, and it was really hard to make really any shape that I desired. And most of it I did like I gave some shape, and then I baked it and I cut the shape in it. And then, as I have been lately learning how to paint the dolls, I decided to use the clay to make those flat faces. So it's just easier to work with, and anything that just falls off from the work I can cut off and use it again. But then I somehow discovered how to manage the clay better, and I decided to talk about it in case anybody sees it and they have the clay and they don't know what to do with it. And this is the head I have been working with, and as you can see, it has much more shape. It's much more smooth compared to this one, which is just I wasn't even able to give it a smooth finish after the baking because it was just so botchy and so clumpy, and it was like the wilderness happening here. So what I discovered, that first of all you have to work in small areas. First, of course, you make the base, you bake it, and even here you can see, as I've been working, all this here is what is still being kind of moving off the face because it just doesn't stay there somehow. So what I have discovered, you have to, first of all, you have to work in small areas. Like I worked in half of the face, and then I worked like the other half. And maybe I can put like a picture here where I actually worked on eyes only, like to building up the upper eyelids and stuff. And I have some clay here, so I want to show you what I actually do to get this smooth effect. Like I have only a small amount of clay prepared. And of course you take, in this stage you take small pieces anyway to build up, and I start building up the back of the head. I did think that building up the face would be just, I don't have good enough equipment to do this. So I'm starting to build up the upper head here, so I just start putting some pieces of clay. I have the picture here that I can compare to make the right shape and to add enough or not too much. And basically the problem is that it is right now hard enough, but if I add a second piece, it's impossible to really smooth it up. It leaves this edge here, and if the base was not baked, just to get it that smooth, you have to apply a lot of force, and for that time all the face would be already ruined. So basically what you do is that, and if you build up the face, it's much more delicate work. You can't just push so hard. So basically you add all this clay you need, and then what you do is that you take the baby oil. I have this soap bottle here. It takes so little, like you don't need a lot of it, and oil doesn't spoil, so you just take a drop and you take a soft pencil, soft brush, and I have this cheap, I don't know, I have bought like a kit or something, and you drop it in, you take some oil and you start applying it, and you just start smoothing it. And basically what you want to achieve is that your entire surface is oily and it gets very soft, and then you can use either the pencil or a smoothing tool, sculpting tool, to just smooth over those edges that doesn't want to smooth out otherwise. And that's how I basically, and you do need to just work on small patches, and then you have to bake, and then you can start adding new layers, because otherwise it just goes, it doesn't take on any detailing, and it basically just you just push it off the work and it's all over, where you don't need it, and it just doesn't seem to do the really intricate details that we want with the face. Even with the doll face, with this it doesn't have to be necessarily so natural and realistic, but you still need to have the nose, the mouth, the eyes, and the eyelids, and what you want to have there. And you just you just add all this clay, kind of give it the shape, and then you start smoothing it out with baby oil. And that's basically how it goes, and it takes some time. It isn't going to be like very fast process anyways, as we know all art takes time, that if you do it with your hands and not with eye. So that was the tip, and I hope it's helpful for someone. And yeah, thank you for watching.